Is it?
Isn't it? Oh, man. Up 2.
Do you actually have to be on cocaine to be on this podcast? Cocaine. Cocaine, really? Cocaine. Cocaine, really?
What is up, everybody? You're listening to yet another edition of Cocaine Willie, the official K-State representative on the College Huddle. I am your commissioner, Bob Trollsby, and as always, I'm joined by my trusty co-hosts, the good chef, Andre Napier, and Fireball Matt Marchesini. Tonight, we're going to be doing locks. We're going to be chatting about the Cincinnati Bearcats matchup that's coming this weekend. And we may, I don't know, we haven't chatted about the Arizona State game. We may not. I don't know what we're going to say about that, if anything, but we haven't, I don't know, whatever. We're not going to talk about that. Anyway, we've got a sponsor we're going to talk about. And before we dive into the episode, we want to give a shout out to them. And this beer crack that I am very late for because I haven't pulled it out of my bag yet is brought to you by Annie Mae's Parlor, located at 616 or 616 North 12th Street, as Matt Marchesini likes to say on his ad reads, in the heart of Aggieville in Manhattan, Kansas. Annie Mae's has been in business for 50 years and is an absolute must-visit destination in Aggieville on game days and school nights alike. Annie Mae's is also, it's just my favorite destination in the Ville. If you're going to the game this weekend, hit it up. There's no reason not to. The vibes are great there. They've got tons of variety from a drink selection standpoint. If you want craft cocktails, they've got it. If you want draft beers, they've got it. And they have everything else that you could possibly imagine in between those options, along with live music, entertainment, comedy, trivia nights, bingo, you name it, they've got it every single week. Check out their website, www.antimaze.com, to get a list of their upcoming events. And they're doing tons of cool stuff all the time. So be sure to visit your auntie in MHK at 616 North 12th Street in the heart of Aggieville. And be sure to tell them Cocaine Willie sent you. Guys, Cincinnati game. Are we turning the page from last week?
Do we have no choice, man? What else? Dude, don't be that guy. I'm going to try to fight the urge to not be that guy because I want to quit. I want to. But like my friend Matt told me, you just got to believe. You got to want it. You have to have the want to. And I got it. I want to win. And I think we can do it. I'm turning the page. It's Cincinnati hate week because I hate Cincinnati. Even though our boy Darren was awesome.
Darren's very cool. Definitely very cool. A bright spot in a dark fan base.
Yes, exactly.
Very strange, kind of annoying people.
Well, yes, I've turned the page. It's on to Cincinnati. I want to hate them and I want to win. And I want it.
Also, as we're recording this, I did get a text, or not a text. I got a tweet or a X post from Ryan Evan, who was on our show to preview Coleman Hawkins for us back in June. And as we're recording this, we are watching the Mississippi Valley State game.
No, we're not.
We don't know what's going to happen in that matchup as we're recording this, but Ryan says Coleman will get it rolling. And regardless of what happens, good on Coleman for playing himself into that cash.
Oh yeah, he got the bag. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But as we're speaking, he's 0 for 7.
He starts slow sometimes, but it's coming, apparently.
Tell him, Matt. What about you? Are you on to Cincinnati?
Me?
Yeah, brother.
I don't have any choice. Okay. Everything.
You can live in the past.
Everything sucks lately.
You could definitely live in the past if you
except for women's basketball.
Women's basketball, rocking and rolling.
Top 10.
Rocking and rolling.
Top 10. The ladies are top 10.
Yoki and her backup are like two of the best players in college basketball right now.
Some say Jeff Mitty's the best coach in all of college sports. So
I heard a stat today that Yoki and Kennedy are both, they're the only two players in college women's basketball that have double doubles on the season, multiple double doubles on the season, while averaging under 16 points or minutes per game.
Kind of
They've only played
incredible.
16
Which is
minutes a
wild.
game. What the hell?
Yeah, dude,
That's
Jokic
crazy.
put up 29 points while only playing like less than 20 minutes in that last game before Arkansas Pine Bluff.
She had 16 and 10 in this last one, though. I mean, she looked pretty good. I mean, she only played like 5 minutes, it seemed like.
Yeah.
That's still a double-double.
Yeah, she's a dog. She a dog.
She a
Got
dog.
that dog in her.
We're going to be in the Final Four in
You
basketball.
calling it? Are you
I'm
calling
calling
it? Can we get are
Women's
there
basketball.
early bets on that?
I'm sure. I mean,
I'll put some cash on that.
I'm sure FanDuel's got that on lock. I think we're going to the Final Four. I'm calling it.
I love it. I love when you call it. You know what else? I put some money on that parlay that you had, and you went over
the
$5.
$20 parlay.
Yeah, you went over
I have.
5. I mean, thanks.
I need approximately 60 seconds when I am up in my locks, because I have something to say about that.
Okay, so we do need to turn the page, but I want one statement from each of you coming out of the Arizona State game, and I'll give everybody 60 seconds to talk Arizona State game, and then we're officially putting it in the past. It's never happening again, and we'll be done with it. Let me get my little timer thing going here. Doing 1 minute per person. Who wants to start?
I'll go first. I mean,
All right.
I'll go first.
You're on the clock.
I'm on the clock. It's an energy thing for me. Some people call it woo woo. I mean, I don't think it's woo woo. I think there's a lot of, negative energy that's transferring from, how the media represents K-State, how the fan base, thinks about K-State, how the team thinks of themselves. It's weird, after we beat, who did we beat? We beat West Virginia or KU, and there was all this stuff about, hey, we know what our record is. They shouldn't. That should not even cross their mind. We can look ahead, but they cannot do that. And I think there's too much. I wouldn't say it's like pressure. I will say it is pressure, and they just haven't handled it well. This team is young, and they just did not handle the pressure well throughout this season. So hopefully, this is a next season team. So hopefully they can.
You're off. Matt, your turn.
I was thinking about this on Saturday while I was sitting at the game. And is there a position group out there that has not regressed from the start of the season to now? And it's very sad to say, but every position group out there does not look as good at one point earlier on in the season. The offense has struggled. Obviously the run game, the offensive line has not looked great. The wide receivers have been very hit or miss. Avery has been hit or miss. On the defensive side, I mean, Brandon Mott has had a really good start to the season. Past 2 games, not look great on the defensive line. I don't believe we had 1 sack against Sam Levitt this past weekend. Linebacking core hasn't looked as strong. It's all over the place. It's not great to say that. That's how it looks as a casual fan. Can things change? Maybe, I think potentially this weekend, but it really put me in a little bit of a darker headspace with this team on Saturday, because they just looked incredibly off, which I hadn't seen in a long time, especially at home. So hope they provide a spark.
You went over your time, but I'll allow it.
What the heck, man? You cut me off and you didn't cut your boy.
Hey, I sounded the buzzer. Did you not hear the buzzer? Did the buzzer not go through?
No, it did not.
Oh, wow. Wild. I actually sounded a buzzer, and this is what it sounded like.
No.
That didn't go through either?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Never mind. Anyway, I'm timing myself. Okay, this game, first and foremost, I hope everything is okay with Chris Kleiman and his family or whatever. I think we're getting close to reaching a point where someone has to provide some sort of information on what exactly is going on. And you don't have to say that, like, okay, if your wife is sick, tell us that your wife is sick. Well, like, you'll have the entire K-State community have your backing. We will all be, thinking about you, praying about you, whatever. But we were reaching a point where if Coach Kleiman is gone for whatever reason, whether it's illness, whether it's a family issue, whether it's whatever, this is such an indictment to me on the preparation and the ability of the assistant coaching staff and the personnel and everybody to be able to step in and fill that void while he's gone, doing whatever he has to do to attend to these family matters. And I don't know if it's Van Malone, Clanderman, Connor Riley, whoever it is, someone has to step up and be a fucking vocal leader and be able to fill that void.
That was a full minute.
All right, Cincinnati game. What are you guys thinking heading into that matchup?
I think they have some, what we struggled with over the last two games. Houston, big bodies, very physical up front. And then what I was shocked how physical Arizona State was, or maybe it's not necessarily what Arizona State did, or it's just our offensive line not being physical enough to get that push. And we're going against a Cincinnati team that has the Godfather at nose guard. I'm not excited to have to put Sam Hecht against that guy. So what can we get from our offensive line to move bodies out of the way, to get some momentum in the first? I mean, golly, the last few games, we just haven't had anything in these first halves to give us some momentum to establish what kind of game plan we want. We just haven't had it. So I'm looking to the offensive line. Can we do something with those big bodies up front to get back to what we were originally doing?
That's a great point. I mean, the first kind of quarter, first half in these past couple games have left a lot to be desired. I think for me is the quote that Chris Kleiman said of basically pushing Avery Johnson a little more to, I just make plays. And I'm trying to remember the exact quote that he said now, which is very embarrassing, but just giving him the keys and letting him go. I mean, I have felt all season that this offense does a lot better when they're in a no huddle or quick play run situation. And we had to see that obviously in the second half when we were down big and you have to have quicker drives to score, where there was more success when Avery was put in a position where you're moving the offense quicker. You're not necessarily, sitting in a huddle or, you're just moving quicker. And I've always felt that is the type of offense that he's going to be successful in. So my hope is that you take just such a poor game offensively in this last game and you say to your team, hey, we are going to try and move this offense tempo and we're going to build it up a notch. And we're going to allow Avery to do more in the run game. We're going to just try and put our players in a position where we're getting 5 yards a play, 5-6 yards a play. I don't think we're going to be able to fix the run game situation at all. And so you're going to have to just be more creative. This is a team that in the past has, one of their biggest strengths is using some of the motion, some of the jet sweeps, getting guys a little bit out in space like that. I don't remember seeing that on Saturday at all. We never used any of that. It felt like the motions are not really doing anything. You're not getting the defense off, off their heels. So I don't know. It was just very shocking to me how just poor the offense looked and they couldn't get anything going. And yes, it starts with the offensive line. You want to give Avery Johnson the opportunity to be able to read some progressions, and you want to give DJ Giddens the opportunity to, try and find some of these holes. There are no holes there anymore for him to try and run through.
So going into this matchup with Cincinnati, I mean, on paper, we've talked about matchups on paper all season. This is on paper matchup K-State should win, and I think K-State's still favored by 9.5. I think was the last thing I saw, something like that. I was shocked to see what the line was, what the spread was. It is 9 points right now as we're looking at this on Tuesday at 8:00 Central Time. But I want to take some of the positive momentum you had in that second half, because clearly something was working better in the second half. I know that, they were playing some vanilla stuff on offense, whatever, and Clanderman was able to adjust for that. But on defense, you did have some situations where the offense was working, and you were in a situation where if you had gotten the field goal off or gotten both field goals off earlier in the game, you're driving for either the tie or the win at the end of the game there. And you've got the weird substitution stuff. Apparently that's a rule about if the ball is near the white lines of the sideline, you get to substitute, even if you're not taking people out of the game. That was something that Kleiman mentioned in his presser yesterday. I hope that you can take and build on some of the positive things that came out of that second half of the game. You can take some of it with a grain of salt. You can sugarcoat it however you want. You can say it was vanilla. I was at least encouraged in that second half, as opposed to being completely dejected to the point where I turned the game off, because I have not done that in maybe a decade, that I've just turned a game off. And it might've been that Oklahoma game on homecoming 2015, but I was at the game. I couldn't turn it off myself. I was at the game. So I haven't been that dejected in a K-State football game in probably a decade. And so I hope that you can take some of the positive momentum that you had in the second half, take that into this matchup where on paper, again, you should be favored. You should beat the Cincinnati team by 2 scores. I don't think we will. I don't think we're going to cover, but I would love to see that happen.
There was one game 4 years ago, the Iowa State game, where we lost 45-0. That game definitely got turned off for me.
I don't know if I turned that one off either. I'm just a masochist when it comes to K-State football. I get pleasure in the pain. It's one of the most absurd things. I can't force myself to turn it off. It's absolutely just god awful. But
my thing is, I don't turn really any game off. What I say I'm going to turn it off, but you know what I do? I just put it on a smaller screen. So I have it on the big screen. I'm watching it. We're losing. We're down 21-0 at half. Let's put it on a smaller screen.
And here's the thing about Cincinnati too, with the conference being 16 teams now, and with some of these matchups just not mattering to us whatsoever. I have not watched a single Cincinnati game this year. I think the only bit of Cincinnati football I've watched this year was last week when I turned our game off and they were down 20-17 to Iowa State at that point in time. And at that point, I did watch that. I did watch that. Yeah. So, but I didn't see the whole game. I only watched part of it. I think I watched the second half. But I haven't watched a full game of Cincinnati football. You name any other team in the Big 12, for the most part, I've probably watched a whole game. Baylor's another team. I don't think I've watched a full game this season, but yeah, it's hard. I don't have a scouting report on this team other than there's no eyeball test for me. There's no nothing, because I haven't really watched them play at all. So putting the outline together for the preview that we did with Darren Russell was, it took a lot of stats and a lot of box score reading. So apologies to the one person that listens to the pod that accused me of being a box score reader.
But I will say this. I mean, okay, we're 7-3.
Yeah.
Let's not lose perspective of what we are as a fan base. And I know there was a whole spiel about this, going through on X and Twitter, whatever your social platform is. Let's not lose perspective on what we are as a program. We should reach higher aspirations and we should have higher goals set for ourselves. But to think that we need to fire people, that we need to do this, that, or the other, I don't think, terminating somebody is what is going to solve these issues. I just don't. It's players, one. I think most of this has to go on the players. I mean, long snapping, there's no coaching in the world that's going to make you snap the ball 4 inches higher so it's not rolling on the ground. What coaching is going to fix that? We hired a special teams guy. And that's not solved. Nothing's going to solve Dylan Edwards pulling a hammy. I mean, this is stuff that it's just not fixable by firing a coach. Now,
Yeah.
like to Matt's point, we aren't, rolling jet sweeps out there. The offense doesn't look as like it doesn't have that spark that it used to have, but it could still get turned around. We don't necessarily need that. We need to execute. We need the players to be better.
I agree, but I will also go back to, I mean, if Coach Kleiman is gone and part of the reason why this team isn't getting up for these games is because he's gone, then the assistant coaches absolutely have to step up and fill that void. If they're not, if they're not, then you're having to rely on leadership from the football team, which
from day one is what Kleiman has said. This is a player-ran program. You can't have the coaches need to coddle these kids to get them up for Arizona State game who's 7-2. If you can't get up for that, then that's a problem with the players. That's just is what it is. They're the ones on the field. Connor calls the plays. Klanderman calls the plays. Kleiman oversees all of it. But the players have to make plays. There's no reason that Avery this is a great example. We're not going to win the game. We're on the goal line. Avery rolls to the left. Jace Brown is wide open in the end zone.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with coaching. Avery just sails it and throws it to the guy in the back who's wide open. Jace is wide open on the goal line, and he throws it over his head. That has nothing to do with coaching. Zero. That is the players.
What does have to do with coaching is not having enough time in that final drive.
And that has something to do with the rules of substitution. We weren't subbing. I don't understand why they were allowed to walk 7 defensive players off at a time.
It's because the ball was going towards the sideline, which apparently if it goes towards the sideline, I don't know. In those situations when you're in tempo, you should have preparation during practice throughout the season and during fall camp where you're preparing for those situations. So you don't end up in a situation where you're, down within the ability. I don't know.
Okay, that still doesn't. It just doesn't make any sense. If we're running towards the sideline, what are we supposed to run toward? We're trying to get out of bounds because we have one timeout.
You should have plays
they have the plays, but the ref's not letting them snap the ball. That has nothing to do with what plays is going to be called. That has everything to do with the rules. We were hamstringed by the rules. We can't run the next play as quick as we want to because I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that. If the ball is in play, the clock is running, and I'm not out of bounds, and I didn't substitute, I should be able to go as fast as I want, as long as the ball's set.
Which is why I don't know. To me, it feels like an excuse. It feels like a crutch that the coaching staff is leaning on personally. But I don't know, man. I think I don't know. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm angry. I'm not actually over it. That's why we're still talking about it. But for Cincinnati specifically, I just hope that this staff, this team can get up and get over it and figure it out.
They will.
There's absolutely no reason why we should lose to Cincinnati. But Cincinnati is playing for bowl eligibility. And if they win their next 2 games, they will be 7-5. If we lose our next 2, we'll also be 7-5. So these are fairly evenly matched teams. Well, when you look at it at the end of the day, should we get to locks?
Let's get some picks in.
So Matt placed a $20 bet and put his faith into 5 other people to place his bets for him for locks last week. And he happened to go 0-5. So Matt is now tied in the overall standings on the season with 2 weeks to go, tied 31-28 and 1. We all have.
Where's the bag at?
He's 31-28. Chef is 31-28, and I am 26-33. I won the week with a 2-3 record. That's how bad everybody was. Chef had 1-4. Matt was 0-5. Matt, put your bag on, and let's get into this. Is that a Whole Foods bag?
Oh, you didn't see the Amazon bag then.
I went to Trader Joe's today specifically because I needed a paper bag. Oh, I can't wear this with my hat. You might want to do that.
Didn't you learn your lesson from last week?
Where do I begin?
How does it feel to be bag boy 2 weeks in a row?
Where do I begin? Okay. I'm
going to give my locks first because you were last week. So.
Oh, that's fine. If you want to, I can definitely wait.
I am going to go ahead. Yeah, I want to savor the moment. I won the week with a 2-3 record. This is the first week that I have lost out on my sicko pick in like 6 weeks. So that's kind of cool, but also kind of sucks because I lost out on the pick. But Big 12 race, I had Cincinnati +10 at Iowa State. That did not hit. I had Baylor -2.5 versus West Virginia. That one hit. I missed on Houston +1 at Arizona. I hit on Arkansas +12 versus Texas. I missed on Hawaii -2.5 at Utah State in my sicko game. Chef was 1-4 on the week. He hit on Arizona -1 versus Houston. He missed on West Virginia +2.5 versus Baylor. He missed on Utah +10 at Colorado. He missed on Tennessee and he also misspelled Tennessee +10 at Georgia. He missed on UL Monroe +24 at Auburn. Chef, any thoughts on your rundown there?
It's nuts because Tennessee was in that game. That one should have been mine. Arizona was the obvious pick. Who else did I miss? I mean, I did misspell
10S, right?
I did. Yeah, 10S. I didn't miss out on them. It's unfortunate, but I think that was the right pick. It just didn't go my way. And then Auburn, how dare you? How dare you? Where do you find the gall to even put up that many points? You suck, Auburn. I hate
it's
you.
The Warhawks of all teams.
The nicest helmets in all of college football, by the way.
Some
are saying,
and by some I mean one. Big 12 for Matt, 0-5. So unfortunately, Frank was 0-1 on his pick of BYU -3 versus the Squawks.
No, skip this. Don't worry. I will go through this all at my turn. I have a thing to say.
Okay. I'll let you go through it then when we get there. So, but all you need to know is Matt was 0-5. He was the bad boy. He's the second 0-5 this season, joining me as the only other individual to go 0-5. Welcome to the club. I'm going to go for Big 12. We'll kick it off. I'm going with the Mormon Magic +3 road dogs at the Sun Devils. I think the Mormon Magic, it hasn't quite run its course yet. KU is just the best, not bowl eligible team in the country. And it's not even close. And with that, I'm going to go with KU +2.5 versus Colorado. I think Deion's ride, Deion Magic, is finally ending against an old Big 8 opponent. Who are the only teams he's lost to this season? Deion Sanders has lost to Nebraska, which is an old Big 8 opponent, and Kansas State, which is an old Big 8 opponent.
Interesting.
So what am I wearing tonight? I'm wearing my Big 8 hat. So give me the Squawks +2.5 versus the Buffs at Arrowhead Stadium. I'm going to go with Baylor. Sawyer Robertson -8 at Houston. I think Houston is dog shit. And despite the fact that we lost to them, they are still dog shit. Give me the Bears, Sick'em, -8. Indiana +13.5. That's a lot of points for two undefeated teams in the Big Ten.
Not two undefeated. Oh, there you go.
Two undefeated teams in the Big Ten. Give me the Hoosiers.
No, they're not undefeated. Ohio State's lost. Ohio State's lost.
You idiot.
Either way, Ohio State is 13.5 point favorites against an undefeated team. Come on.
Okay.
How is Indiana not ranked ahead of them is the real question here. +13.5. Give me the Hoosiers. By two scores. That's a lot of points. UAB, the fighting Trent Dilfers, they're +6.5 point dogs on the road. No, at home versus Rice. And guess what? You don't lose to food. Give me the Blazers +6.5.
Blades up, baby. Blades up.
Blades up. 420.
Yeah. So I'm right there in the same boat as you. I got the Mormon Magic. I think +3 to, the top team in the conference is nuts.
And
in
there
my
was no
opinion.
collusion on this at all. No collusion
Zero.
whatsoever, because your picks are not on the sheet. So we did not collude on that.
No, and I've got them written down right here. I wasn't writing while you were doing it either. Sorry for the handwriting. My next one, Tech, -3.5. I think, Tech has got a lot to fight for. And I like Tech in this game. It's just, Baron Morton, show me something. Please, for the love of God, one time.
He's not on bye this week either.
No, he's not. Thank God. My next pick, I'm going opposite of you. I got Houston. Houston +8 at home. I feel like there might be some rain in the forecast. That bodes well. Bodes well for the Houston dog. Go Cougs on that one. I gotta get them. I gotta get them in a win column right there. And then my rank game, Army versus Notre Dame. Are we talking ranked matchup? Undefeated Army? I still think Notre Dame. It's similar to my Notre Dame Navy pick. I got to go with Notre Dame. At home, they're just a better team. They've already gone against the triple option one time this season. They're well-versed in it. They're ready to go. -14.5, Notre Dame. Easy money. Put the bank on it. And then, oh, man, my sicko game. Utah State. Are they the best team in the state of Utah at 3-7? I think they are. They're -4. And you have to take that. You have to take that. I think who are they playing? My bad. I can't remember who they're playing. They're playing another 3-7 scrub team.
You don't. Oh, is it Air Force?
No, they're not playing Air Force. I should have had this pulled up. This is my fault. This is a bad pocket. No, San Diego State. They're playing San Diego State. Aztecs don't go to Utah and bode well. The Mormons, they'll come out and get you. Where is Utah State at?
Utah State is in
Logan.
Logan.
Yeah. My God.
It's north. It's like 10 miles south of the Idaho border.
Terrible. Don't want to go there. Shout out to Matt Wells. Maybe you can spark this offense, bring back the old Utah State vibes. But
history's proven that's not going to happen.
But yeah, that's my sicko game. Utah State -4.
-4. It's a weird line.
-4.
Ugly line.
All right. Well, I would like to take a moment before I do this week's picks to talk about last week and how despicable this was. Please put my face here. Thank you.
That's what I was doing. Just give it a minute.
All right. Yes. My father picked BYU to beat KU. I thought that was a good pick. You know what? Wasn't. Thanks, Dad. See you Friday. Tyler Maneth. Literally, this parlay was done by Friday at 11 p.m. Central Time. Like, it didn't even have time to marinate until Saturday. The stake fell into this. I don't know where I was going with that. Tyler Maneth, why would you pick Houston ever in anything? Just a huge mistake. Connor Harpence, love the guy. This was a foul call on Wally Judge, this pick. This was a foul call. Cincinnati at Iowa State, 9 points. Covering that? Absolutely not. All right, Sco, you went to Penn State. You obviously don't know anything about football. If he can tell me what team on their schedule so far that they've beaten will make them a college football playoff team, I'd love to hear it. He picked LSU, 4-point favorite at Florida. My goodness. Putting faith in Brian Kelly. He put faith in Christian Hackenberg to get him somewhere. Absolutely not. Penn State sucks. Tyler Rankle, you live in Philly, but you're like, I'm not going to pick Temple. Like, that's your Philly team. You can't. No wonder why. The Sixers suck. The Flyers suck. You're going to put your faith in Jalen Hurts to get you to the Super Bowl? Okay, good luck with that. Picked Florida Atlantic over Temple. Guess what? Temple won. Finally, Philly wins a game. Who'd have
And
thought?
Tom Herman still sucks.
And Tom Herman got fired. And the Temple coach got literally Temple won the game and they still fired their coach.
That game was so ugly they nuked the entire coaching staffs on both sides.
Out of literally the sicko game means I can pick one of 60 games and you pick Florida Atlantic over Temple. I need new friends. I've decided. All right. This week. Arizona State, 3-point favorite at home versus BYU. Arizona State's offense, very similar to the KU offense, if you think about it. I think Arizona State's going to beat BYU at home. I think it's going to be like a 10-point game. I think BYU is going to lose 2 in a row.
Wow.
Okay.
Baylor at Houston. I'm taking Baylor -8. I have no faith in Houston. I don't know why.
Big
you know
swing
what?
game for
Sawyer,
me. Big swing game.
Sawyer Robinson for the win.
He's a dog.
West Virginia is a 3-point home underdog against UCF.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know. Garrett Green's coming back. He's 100% for this game. I think West Virginia is going to get home field. They're going to win. The national games suck absolute butt this week. I mean, there's 2 ranked matchups. One's in the Big 12, and then Navy and Notre Dame. So I'm going sneaky Big 10 game. And again, Penn State sucks. Give me Minnesota 12.5-point home underdog against Penn State.
This feels like a spite pick for you.
This is a spite pick, but Minnesota is 6-3, 7-3.
6-3. PJ Fleck is god awful.
I'm pretty sure they're 6-3.
He's like
they might be 7-3.
He's almost as nauseating as like listening to Paul Feinbaum.
I can't load ESPN for some reason right now, probably because K-State sucks at everything.
Yeah, I don't listen to any sports podcast when we lose. I just don't. I just don't. I get enough of football.
I actually watch more.
I believe Minnesota is 7-3. Hosting Penn State. I think they're going to cover 12.5.
I like it.
And then
hope they win.
I hope they win.
Yeah,
because again, Penn State sucks.
I don't. Because I hate PJ Fleck.
Penn State sucks.
Fair. That's fair.
Sicko game. Arkansas State, 3-point favorite at home versus Louisiana Monroe. Just, you know what? I'm going throwing caution to the wind. Go Devils. No.
Red Wolves.
Wow, are you just throwing shade at me because I picked UL Monroe last week, or what's going on here?
I could not tell you anything about Louisiana Monroe other than it is in Monroe, Louisiana. So and they're the Warhawks.
The Hawks or the Warhawks.
They're the Warhawks.
Red Wolves and the Warhawks.
So that is my lock segment for this
Woohoo!
week.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Oh my god. Okay. So with that, let's get to Big 12 fantasy. Let's just do a quick recap on where we're at. So
okay, yeah.
For those of you who have been listening every single week, first off, thank you. Because this episode is our least listened to episode, least watched episode. If you look at all of our YouTube stats, it's all public information. There's like a solid 70 people who are interested in what we do on this episode. Congratulations to you if you're listening to this or watching this. For the Big 12 fantasy, what we had done at the beginning of the season is we had chosen 3 individuals per position group, and we gave them 4 starts each. What that means is we're through 12 weeks of the season now, so everybody has exhausted their eligibility without regard for the fact that there are 2 weeks left of the season, because we're not a math pod, and nobody caught it until like 3 weeks ago when my dumb ass caught it, and I was going through my picks, and I was like, I'm going to run out of eligibility for my running backs in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it was. So we enter this week now in a dead heat where I am 6-6. Chef is 6-6, and Matt is 1-11, so he has no chance to win it at all at this point. But it's basically between Chef and I for the championship here. We've got 2 weeks left in the season, and then we have championship week. And so Fireball Matt, has graced us with a fantastic idea. Now that all of our players have run through their eligibility, we came up with multiple different ideas. Do we stick around with the Big 12 fantasy? Do we explore expanding that breadth to the entire FBS, Power 4? Do we do the G5? Who knows? What are we going to do? So, Matt, would you like to explain your concept, your theory of what we should do for the final 2 weeks of what was Big 12 fantasy, but is now just weekly fantasy?
I would be honored to talk about it. Thanks, Bob. So I got this inspiration from a TikTok account that I watch. It's a guy in the UK that every Friday uses.
Here it is.
The Wheel of Names to pick where and what he eats every Friday night. Random takeaway night is what it's called. Every Friday.
Love that.
And so I got the inspiration that this week we will use the Wheel of Names to pick what conference we can select for a particular position group.
Oh God.
So
should we throw the Mountain West in there just for grins?
Should we throw the Mountain West in there? Here's my thing. We
Power
want
5,
the Mountain,
right?
we want the Mountain West for one specific position group. And personally,
It's like the lottery.
We
should make it a real small sliver.
If we were going to put the Mountain West in there, we're not even talking about the American, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
But I think it's fair that we use the Power 4 for this. And so what we will do is we will
by position group,
spin the wheel, and whatever conference it lands on, that individual will have 30 seconds to pick.
30 seconds?
30 seconds.
Oh, fuck.
And so it's going to be a little bit of skill as much as...
Pull the rosters up.
It's going to be a little bit of skill and maybe luck is also.
I love it. I'm excited. Who do we want to rock, paper, scissors for who gets first pick?
Well, I think it should go based on who has the biggest score differential, obviously.
Okay, yeah.
So I should,
because
go
if
first.
we go by score differential and we take a look at this, so for those of you who are not looking at the spreadsheet that we have between the three of us, I am 6-6, but I have 978.82 points on the season.
Impressive.
Chef is also 6-6, and he has 894.08 points on the season.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got him by almost 100 points, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Matt in last place with 868 points.
Whoa.
Hmm.
Whoa.
Which is still pretty high, but pretty high for someone who's 1-11.
That's actually a lot closer than I thought it would be.
All right, so Matt should go first. So thank you.
Sure.
All right.
It is his idea. So.
And you get to decide what position group you want to start with.
Can I just test the buzzer real quick?
30 seconds. I heard that.
Okay.
Oh, that was up there now.
That was loud.
Okay.
All right. So my turn.
Yes.
Spin the wheel.
What are we starting with? What position?
We're starting with
Quarterback.
No, you get to decide what position you want to start with.
Okay.
We are going to start with running back.
Okay. Oh, you lucky bat. Oh, Big Ten. He's got to do some research now. We all don't get Big Ten running backs. That means you get Big Ten running backs, and I will spin the wheel.
No, we all get Big Ten running backs.
Clock is ticking, by the way.
I'm going to take Caleb Johnson from Iowa.
Okay. Typing it in. Hold on 1 second. Caleb Johnson.
Oh, fuck me. Are they playing this weekend? Oops.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
You've made your pick.
Yes.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, they are. They're playing Maryland on the
They're
road.
playing Maryland. All right.
I will take Quinshawn Judkins from Ohio State.
Wait, we're all picking from this conference right now.
Yes.
Okay. Big 10 rushing leaders. Fuck. Jordan James at Oregon.
Yeah, that's good.
Is he hurt?
No, that's good.
Okay.
Are they playing? They're not
Nope,
playing.
he said
They're
the
not-
name.
They're
He
not.
said
No,
the name.
that's not fair. That's not fair.
Are they not playing?
They're not playing. Remember this. What? I'm not going to hold you to that. I'm not going to hold you to that. Again,
Kyle Monangi, is Rutgers playing? Is Rutgers playing?
Rutgers is not playing.
No, they are
Rutgers is
playing.
They are. They're playing Illinois.
Kyle Monangi. I hate this. I am such a casual outside of Big 12 and SEC. Chef, who did you take again?
I took Quinshawn Judkins, Ohio State. It could be a mistake because they.
Oh, you took an Ohio State guy. Oh,
Why? Why did you do that? He's like not even in the top 5 in rushing.
It's okay. He had 2 rushing touchdowns last week, and I
not-
think he'll do this. Think he'll do the same thing.
All right.
And he catches the ball a little bit.
Man, I hate this.
All right. Who's
I have to
next?
find the hex codes for all the colors for this too.
Well, if we're going lower, that means it's my turn to spin the wheel, and I get to
Then
pick
it
the
is,
group.
yes.
Yeah, you get to pick the position group.
Okay.
And then it's just gonna go from so Bob will be next and then me.
Yeah.
All right. What's the position group, Chef?
Let's go quarterback. Is that right? Is that what we
Oh man, that was so close.
Oh my god. I'll take Shador. Even though that could be a mistake. That could be a mistake.
Nope, you said the name.
Damn it.
So I go next.
Yes.
I hate this. Josh
This is-
Hoover.
I was like, this is the easiest one. You get
Josh
the Big
Hoover.
12. Josh Hoover.
Where's our 30-second buzzer? Buzz his ass.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Baron Morton.
Oh, wow. I'm shocked nobody took our boy Sawyer.
Against Houston's defense, though.
Yeah,
That's
Houston.
true. That's true. I think Houston's going to win the game, but who am I?
Houston's defense is good. Okay. Give me wide receiver, I guess.
Oh, shit. Watch it be the Big Ten.
Fucking A. Are you kidding me?
Boo. I get last pick. If we don't get one SEC thing, I'm going to be pissed. It's going to be for tight ends, and I have no idea any tight ends in the SEC.
All right. Against Iowa, though.
What are we doing? Receiver.
Jeremiah Smith, Ohio State.
Interesting.
That is very interesting.
I am gonna go Pat Bryant of Illinois. Illinois.
I have never heard of most of these people, but
I was gonna go with Egbuka, but it's gonna be tough. One of those guys is gonna.
I will go. Oh my god! I guess I'll go Harrison Wallace III, Penn State.
He is 18th in the conference in receiving yards.
Oh my
What?
God. Chef,
You're
you signed up for
over
this.
Buka?
Chef signed up for this. Oh man.
Oh my God.
All right. I am up.
Oh my God.
I'm up.
Why?
I'm up. Guess what, boys? Tight end.
Defense. Oh, let's go. Watch it be SEC.
I
I
need
guarantee.
this. I need this to be the Big Ten. I need this to be the Big Ten.
What? You'll take time.
Oh, dude, it's all Big 12 and Big 10. This is so stupid.
I completely forgot like who's in tight ends. Oh my
So
God.
Dumb.
This is so
Yeah,
bad.
notorious for picking good tight ends too.
Oh, I have to go with they're playing this week, right? Keithy. I'm gonna go Keithy.
No, he's hurt. Oh no, he picked him. He picked him though. He picked him. No, he picked him.
No.
No, he picked him.
No.
He said, "You heard the words. You heard the words." No, you can't. You can't take it back. You can't take it back.
Bob got one, and then I get one.
But what?
Yeah,
I get one.
No, you get one. You get one. I can't. Can't in good conscience.
All right, I'll take Cole Taylor.
You took my tight end.
God damn it.
Oh, damn. That's funny. All right. Let me get my. I have no idea.
I hate this. This is awful.
This is terrible. This is disgusting. Oh, my God. I'm just running through the stats. Oh, they have nobody. Who do they have? They have nobody. They might have been. Hold on. Go back. What's my time looking like, Mr. Wolf?
It's definitely 5 seconds or less. So,
oh my God, give me some Trigg. Give me Trigg from Baylor. Michael Trigg.
Bob, this is easy for you. This is easy. You know who you're picking.
Your boy.
Yeah, I'm going Shimon Mateer, obviously.
Your boy.
Oh,
All right. So we got what, wide receiver?
No, we already did that. It's SEC and defense. It's SEC defense. That's what we're hoping for. It's just defense.
Yeah, SEC defense.
We didn't get a single ACC or SEC. This is.
Don't be Big 12. No.
Okay, let's respin. We can't do another Big 12.
We should have eliminated them as we go.
Oh, I have the ability to do that actually.
Well, we've already spun every other position.
Here, hold on.
Redraft.
No. Remove. There we go.
We are 52 minutes in. We are not redrafting at this point.
This is the quickest segment.
Oh my God.
No, we're removing now. It's between
It's a 50-50.
Thank God. Okay.
Who gets pick here?
Me, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bobby boy.
Okay.
SEC. Who are we playing? Oh my God, I know who I'm taking. Does it count if it's not an SEC game? Like half the SEC teams.
That's the strategy.
SEC teams are playing.
Texas Longhorns.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Is it my pick or yours, Matt?
No, it's my pick.
Oh my God, that's bullshit.
Texas Longhorn. You're taking Texas, huh? Oh man.
That hard.
No,
it is that. It's super easy actually, and I know if he doesn't take it, I know who I'm taking.
I knew who I was
taking.
Take
I'm going to take Tennessee.
Okay,
against UTEP.
Really?
I'll take Georgia versus UMass.
Fair enough. Okay. We have our teams. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it up on the screen here. Second. Get this going here.
Oh my God, that's so freaking funny, dude. We had literally just Big Ten and SEC.
Hey, the two best conferences, right? Big 10, Big 12. Those are
Power
who we
two.
want to be.
Too. All right, here are the teams. So,
Oh my God.
Matt has Baron Morton from Texas Tech, Caleb Johnson from Iowa, Pat Bryant from Illinois, Cole Taylor from West Virginia, and Tennessee's defense. I have Josh Hoover from TCU, Kyle Monangai from Rutgers, Jeremiah Smith from The Ohio State University, and Shimon Mateer from Arizona State with the Texas defense. And Chef has Shador Sanders from Colorado, Quinshon Judkins from The Ohio State University, Harrison Wallace from Penn State, and Michael Trigg, spell check. I don't know how that's spelled. From
I think it
Baylor.
just needs a G. Just one more G.
With
Like
the,
I needed one more E. You need one more G.
with the Georgia defense against UMass, the Fighting Frank Martins.
Let's go. That was fun. That was fun. I can't wait for next week, and hopefully, maybe we could refine it to where we're eliminating a conference if we get that pick.
We will be eliminated.
And it will be every conference in that list. We are going absolute. Every conference will be in that circle.
Oh my
next
God.
week.
Chef, can you do like offensive line statistics, like sacks allowed, and we could do an O line as well as a position group?
Oh my God.
I mean, I don't really know how to score it fantasy wise, but
I think it would be like sacks allowed, right? Like,
okay. I mean, yeah, whoever get. I mean, let me
do it like a defense and special teams. You start them off with 10 points or something, and then retract for every sack allowed.
Let me see if there's one. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, I'm down for that. I'll get real freaking weird.
Oh
We
my
get real
God.
weird. We get real weird with this. Any other parting shots, final words, final thoughts before we get out of here? Chef, do you have any over-unders this week?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Or do we
mean,
want to
yeah,
revisit? Do we want to revisit last week? Because I think the Dylan Edwards under definitely hit because he got hurt.
The Dylan Edwards definitely hit. The Trey Spivey over definitely hit.
Definitely.
He was
Well,
actually a bright spot.
You know, if I knew that Jaden Jackson was out for the game and Keegan was going to tweak something in warm-ups, then yeah, I probably would have picked the over for Trey Spivey.
We didn't know. And then me and Matt both went over on non-offensive touchdowns. Those both missed. Matt was 1 for 3. I was 0 for 3. So that's not great. This week, what do we want to do? Let's go. What's some storylines from this week? Redemption. Let's go.
Over under Avery Johnson 0.5 rushing touchdowns.
Okay, we can do that. Let's do it all Avery. Let's do an all Avery. Let's do Avery Johnson 0.5 rushing touchdowns.
Under.
I'll go
Over.
Okay. We all couldn't be over because Lord knows he would have -1 touchdown. So I'll take the hit. I'm gonna say under.
How about Avery Johnson completion percentage? Over 66.5.
Under. I still think he can have a good stat line. I mean, he could still have a strong stat line without, but he's got like some dropsies from the receivers and stuff like that too. So
What you set it at?
66.5.
Ooh. I mean, he's been under in almost every game, so I'm gonna go under.
I'll go over. And you guys went under, so hold on. Give me the Matt. You were the only one under. Chef and Bob over. I went over, so that's
66.5.
Yeah.
If you made it 64.5, that would be a better line. Because 64. So let me just go through his game log real quick. So UT Martin 66.7, Tulane 65.2, Arizona 60.9, BYU 53.6, Okie State 61.3, Colorado 65.2, West Virginia 65.5, KU 55.9, Houston 59.0, and 60.0 against Arizona State. It's like 50-50 if you set it at 64.5.
How about we set it at 63? Well, it's just I think I see 66 as a completion percentage as a better odd of him hitting. Well, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, just with how many completions he throws, 66 comes up a lot easier than those other numbers.
Sure, I'm just going off of averages.
Right. And, I mean, you have to – I guess what
Not
I'm
a
going
math.
with is 66% is what? Like 3/5? What is that?
No.
He
Bad.
has
2/3.
2/3. That's what I meant.
He has hit 66.5 one time this season. It was UT Martin.
Okay, well, I set it at what I set it at, and we put our things in there, so we'll do with that. And then
I got one.
okay, let me hear it.
Over under 1.5 total turnovers
1.5
For Avery.
for Avery. 1.5 total turnovers.
Under.
1.5. I'll say under 2.
If he has 2 or more, we're screwed. So
Yeah, I think if you look at his stat lines, most of the time, if he has 2, we lose.
I'm gonna say under.
Okay.
I feel 1.5 is a fair one though.
So we all went under on that one.
I should pick over.
Bob and Matt went the completion unders, and me and Bob went over on the rushing. So there's some discrepancy there.
Nice.
Yeah. A little bit. All right.
Fun. What an episode.
I am not excited for the game. I'm excited for the next episode, but that's going to do it for us today. Once again, shout out to Annie Mae's Parlor. Visit them at www.anniemaze.com for a full list of their upcoming events. And if you're going to the game, stop by Annie Mae's before or after. Doesn't matter. When you go, just go and tell them that Cocaine Willie sent you. Additionally, we are the K-State representative on the College Huddle, which is the largest community of fan-driven content in the nation. Check them out at thecollegehuddle.com and follow them on social media at College Huddle. Last but not least, you can follow our show at Cocaine Willie on YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky, Twitter, or Instagram, or you can follow us individually. I'm at Bob Trollsby. Chef is at Chef Andre Napier, and Fireball Matt is at Matt Marchesini. Chef.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug, baby.
We are all coke and no joke, other than the Wildcats men's basketball team, which just missed a wide open dunk by Buddy Rich and is only at 16 points to Mississippi Valley State with 11 seconds left. But Wildcat country.
Let's freaking ride, dude.
Let's ride.
Let's
we
win
are
a
a women's
damn
basketball
game.
School. Women's basketball school.
Hammer that over.